Pika Raych, also known as Raych Gitau, is highlighting her journey, especially when it came to the birth and loss of her the loss of her first child. You know, she's talking about how they dated since 2019, and then they broke up since 2009, broke up in 2013, got back together, and then after a while, she actually got pregnant. And then fast forward, they found out they didn't even have the time to process that they were pregnant because she fell ill while on vacation in Malindi, comes back to Nairobi, and she's told it's actually an ectopic pregnancy. But the problem is she had symptoms beforehand. And when she went to the hospital and said her symptoms, she was told she has gallstones and an STD. And then fast forward, you're told actually you never had an STD, you did not have gallstones, all you had was an ectopic pregnancy, and all those signs could have been detected so early. Anyway, she had an ectopic pregnancy. The pregnancy grows on your fallopian tube. So the bigger it goes, there's no space to accommodate it, it ruptures the fallopian tube, which is very painful, very unfortunate. Anyway, she now just has, you know, one side of the tube, and that has been the case for it was the case for like 3 years until she was able to have a child again. Anyway, as she was going through this very traumatic process, the very traumatic period, she finds out that some of the relatives and some of the friends were actually claiming that she had an abortion. Imagine you have gone through such a loss, such a painful loss. You have lost your child, you have lost your fallopian tube, and then somebody is out here spreading rumors about you having aborted a child. Anyway, luckily they were able to conceive again after 3 years, and they look very happy right now. But it just goes to highlight the problem with the medical industry or the medical sector in Kenya. There are so many people who are suffering from so many undiagnosed or misdiagnosed diseases. Sometimes you have something very simple, and because somebody wants to make a quick buck, they're going to give you just surface level assessment and send you away with expensive drugs to do. We even had a case as hilarious as Pastor Nganga. You guys, you know him, you love him, we all love him, where he went to hospital and he said he had an injury from working out. And he goes to hospital, and the doctor starts saying, you need an MRI scan, you need a this and this and this and this and this, and then goes on to give him heaps of expensive medicine. And he was like, this does not make sense, because they even told him he has a heart condition. So he was like, this does not make sense. You know, for a person my age, to have a heart condition, it really does not make sense. He goes to have a second opinion and finds out it's just that he had injured his arm while working out. There's nothing wrong with his heart. There's no need for those expensive medication. As in, there's just a lot. And so many people have gone through this. Have you been, you know, a victim of the health industry in Kenya?
I feel like sometimes it's this is what I learned. Sometimes you may be in pain now, go to the hospital, and the report or the remedy that you'll be given will be very different than if you held on and went a little later. For instance, my leg. I thought at the beginning of the year that I was going to get surgery on my leg because I was in extreme pain, and it was just it's something that was so minor to me. It didn't make sense how something so tiny can become something so big. I was standing up and I got a muscle cramp. And once I got the muscle cramp, I was in so much pain. I tried to sleep. I had a leg cast put on, but I couldn't sleep the whole night. And the next morning I was taken to hospital, and I was told, look, at the end of the day, you need to get a surgery because there's a bunch of stuff going on with my knee, right? But I decided to hold off on the surgery, just keep taking my medication, then went back to a different doctor for a second opinion. And when I went to the different doctor for a second opinion, then he completely also minimized what was going on. He's like, no, these things happen. It's kind of obvious what is going on. You have, you know, early arthritis, and there's nothing you can do really. If you do treat the condition, it doesn't take away the main issue. So again, these are two different doctors from two different hospitals who are giving me a similar story but different ways to deal with it. So I think at the end of the day, it's important to get a second opinion, and simply because the first opinion was drastic doesn't necessarily mean that they're right. Because a lot of us want to be told something is wrong. Like, you're in pain, you want to be told something is wrong. There's no way I'm okay. There's no way my hand is just hurting for no reason. So the worst information is what you usually take on. And if you are told something slightly different or something super easy, like, you just twisted your ankle, that's why you're in pain, you kind of never believe it. You always want to hear the super bad news.
Yeah.
So essentially, what am I saying? Try and get a second diagnosis from a different person, if possible from a completely different hospital, so that you can be able to understand what is actually happening with you. But ultimately, still go to hospital. It's very important. It's very important. Why stay in pain? You know,
Why?
if you can, please go to hospital.
True.
Yeah, so that is my general prognosis. I feel so bad for her because, again, I mean, I'm imagining before you go to a second doctor, you've taken a bit of time. So in the time that she spent trying to medicate, she could have gone to a different person and gotten the consultation and still gotten a remedy and didn't have to rupture her fallopian tube. It's super sad how female conditions are kind of like, no, it's normal. Women are in pain.
Walk it off.
It's normal. Like, you tell someone you're having painful cramps, they're like, no, that's normal. Even me, I have. Why not go and make sure that this is normal for you? You know what I mean? It's not. You shouldn't just disregard pain in that way.
True.
Please find out what's going on. It could be nothing, but on the off chance that it is something, you would rather know earlier than later. Sorry about your situation, and we're happy for your second child. And again, those people who are trying to make it look like it's something that it wasn't, shame on them. Shame on you.